How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a modification. We're going to be this breather tube, or this little suction tube. We're going to be making a new suction tube. This one just don't seem like it's, I mean, you guys see me blasting with it. It just didn't look like it was picking up enough sand or something. And I was running it actually a little too much air pressure. I think I had a little bit above 100 pound. They said run it 100 or less. So we're going to make this tube, the feed tube for the sandblasting gun, and just see what it does. I will be making mine just a little bit different than what they're making theirs on YouTube. Maybe just a little bit easier to make. So let's get to it, and I'll show you what I'm going to make it out of. Okay, as you guys seen, it didn't pick up much when we were sandblasting on my last video. And it didn't really clean the metal that good at all. So I've heard of some people making new tubes. Well, I'm going to make my tubes out of plastic pipe. This don't have any pressure. All it's got to do is suck up the sand. So why can't I make them out of plastic pipe? I don't think there's any reason why I can't. So we're going to make them out of plastic pipe. We're just going to use 2 pieces of plastic pipe. I'll give you the size on them in case they work. If they don't, you may not want the size. They're about 12 inches long. They're about the same length, almost the same as that one right there. So 12 inches, and then you're going to need 1 cap. And this cap is just to cover the end of the breather tube on the bottom, like so. So let's get to doing this modification. And oh yeah, I did buy some of that black diamond sand. I got a bag of that sand. You can see it. We're gonna try it too, but I'm going to leave the sand that I have in there now, which is just the medium grade sand from Harbor Freight. This came from Rural King. Now, if this stuff works and it works better, I'll be buying this. I paid $37 a bag for that bag, that medium grit sand, and I paid $7 for that bag there. And I'm not going to be using this all the time. Basically, we're going to clean up a go-kart right now, a go-kart part. So let's get to this modification. Well, I already know I need one side tapered down in order for me to get this 1/2 inch. This is just 1/2 inch pipe water line that would go in your house. In order for me to get this inside of the bottom of the feed tube, I'm gonna have to taper that end down. So we're gonna go ahead and get it tapered down. Okay, the only thing I'm trying to do is to get this pipe on the inside of this pipe, and it's a little bigger, or it could be basically, it's probably almost the same size, but I think sanding it down, we should be able to get that to go up on there. It's already started, so that's going to work to be able to hook that piece of pipe to this piece. So now I had to buy a whole stick of this, which I think was 10 feet long. I didn't need very much of it, but we took whatever we had to. Now we're going to take this to the drill press, and we're going to be drilling 2 5/16 holes in this, and I'll show you where. Okay, we're over to drill press, and what I did here is I measured on the one that's going to my gun 1 inch up, and the one that's going to my air 2 inches up. So I'm going to drill a 5/16 hole here and a 5/16 hole here. Now, I do believe that's the right size. I've been, watching the videos, and I've heard a couple people say that 5/16. I thought, that might have been a little big hole. But obviously, it must be the size you need. So, we're going to go ahead. I don't even think I need to chuck that down. We're going to go ahead and drill it. Alright, 1 5/16 hole there. And we'll go ahead and drill the other one. Okay, so we got our holes drilled. Both holes. I'm just going to take a little carpenter knife and clean that edge off around there. I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. I'm just going to clean that little edge. Now, I've never built one of these before, and I really don't know much about sandblasters. I'm just going by what I see on YouTube, videos that people post, and I like them videos just as much as you guys like my videos, maybe more. So what I got to do now is we got to get these two tubes together, and we got to line these two holes up. We want them two holes lined up with each other. So here's what I'm going to do. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a couple zip ties. We're going to line them holes up as best we can. We're going to zip tie this tube together. Now I could see a little bit of that hole. A little bit of that hole on each side. You can see just a little bit of that hole on that side and a little bit on that side. So we're going to zip tie there. Then we're going to put one on the other side. Okay. Make sure these guys are pretty tight. Alright. So that's going to hold it for a little bit, and then we'll be right back here. Okay. We're going to take the glue gun and we're going to glue these guys together. Basically, just like welding them together. And we get down to this hole, we're going to work up on one side a little bit. We'll let that dry. We'll work up on this side a little bit. Let that dry up a little bit, and we'll keep on going around here. Dry. We'll let it cool. I don't think drying is going to help us any. Now this thing is only made to suck up sand. There's really no pressure in here. So I don't think zip tying it and putting some glue on it is going to hurt it a bit. Okay, this is all, I got it all glued together. I'm just going to snip off these two guys here. We don't need them on there. And we'll just leave those on there because I don't think they're going to hurt anything on there. Now, we have our little cap. And being that this thing is not actually got a lot of pressure or anything on it, and it's sucking anyhow, we're going to leave this not glued and just slide it on the bottom. So now all I got to do is get our, whoa, losing stuff here. All we got to do now is get our hose on this guy, and don't forget we tapered that down. Get her squeezed up on there. I don't believe we'll need a clamp or anything on it. I think that's pretty good. So we're going to put that inside of the hopper and see if it works any better than this. I sure hope it does. It should. So we'll see. Now, one nice thing about not gluing this piece on, we can always pull it off and clean that tube out too. That'll make it nice for that. So let's get this set up. Okay, we got that slid down in there, and one little another modification I did was I added this short 3-foot piece of hose in there, and it just comes out the back right here, so I can plug it in instead of having my hose run through there, because that end wouldn't fit. This end won't fit through that hole. I just bought a 3-foot piece here. I think it was like $8. So we'll use that to hook on the end of our gun, and we'll get it hooked on there, and then we'll give this thing a try. Okay, we got everything hooked up, and I wanted to tell you, my vacuum did plug up. The vacuum cleaner did plug up. I cleaned it, and we're gonna get ready to try that piece again. This piece in here, we're going to try to sandblast it again. I'm hoping you guys can see enough to see what I'm doing, just to see if it does any different. Okay, we'll see if it makes any different. I'm hoping you guys can see, and for those of you who watched my first video, if this thing works any different, you're going to know. Alright, I know it's kind of hard to see down in there, but that gun wasn't doing nothing. So I went and got another gun and put on this thing, and we're going to try it again, because that thing just wasn't going to work. I don't know if it's the media, the sand that I got in there, but we're going to try this, and if this doesn't work, guess what? We're going to put some different sand in there and see if we can get it to work. Okay, what I done is I went and got a piece of rusty metal and stuck it in there because I want to see it. It does look like that this gun is definitely blowing the stuff out. It's cleaning better. It's definitely cleaning better. So we're going to try this old piece of metal and see if it takes the rust off. It might be just my the sand that I'm using. Alright, I cleaned out my hopper. We're going to go over there and get that Black Beauty sand, and we're going to put that in there and give it a try. Now this sand does look a lot coarser than what I was using, so hopefully this will take the paint off. You can actually see how much coarser that is. Okay, I got the hopper loaded up with all the Black Beauty sand. So now we're going to get everything started back up and give it a try again. See if it makes any difference. Alright, I wanted to try to give you guys a little close-up. This thing is definitely working better with the Black Beauty sand, and I'm not sure how that tube's working out or whether I needed to change it or not, but let me show you how it's working. I think it's working a whole lot better. I don't have the vacuum on, but it's not real dusty in there, and it's so loud you can't hardly hear. Okay, we did switch the gun out, we switched the tube out, and we switched out the sand, and we put this Black Beauty in there. Now, when we switched the sand, it did a lot better job. I mean, that looks 100% better than that right there, because this was going over with the other, and you could see the difference between them two pieces there. So I think the sand worked a lot better, the Black Beauty, and I think I thought it was like $6 for a bag, a 40-pound or 50-pound bag. I think it was a 40-pound bag, $6. The white sand that I had in there I got from Harbor Freight. It was the medium grade, and I paid $35 for the bag. Now, I'll be honest with you, I may never use that stuff. I don't know. Because the Black Beauty works so well, why would you want to switch? Now, it didn't want to take the powder coat off. I could see that. So, I may go ahead and use this just the way it is for right now, because it's going to clean up a lot of the other parts. I can get this, because I want to get this go-kart done. I want to get it finished. It's taken me forever to get it done. So, I'll probably go ahead and use what I can, and just basically that powder coat, I'm going to have to sand it off, just scuff it off, primer it, and paint it, and let it be what it is. You know, what it is, what it is. We'll just leave it at that. So, the tube, I think, worked out good. Now, I know some people say to drill an 1/8-inch hole up here in the top somewhere, and I might try that later on another one. These don't cost nothing to make. I mean, they're basically free. They're that cheap. So to make the tube out of the plastic, I think it worked out okay. Well, the Sandblaster's working, but ask me, would I buy it again? Nah, I don't think so. I don't know that I would buy it again. Unless they're going to do all the modifications to it to make this thing work, I'm not so sure I would. So, but that's just my opinion, okay? That's just my personal opinion. I switched out the gun. I built a new tube going down through there. I put new media in there, the sand in there. That sand, that Black Beauty, is cutting a lot better than the other. I paid $35. I could have bought 4 or 5 bags of the other, the Black Beauty, and it's actually doing the cutting for me. I don't personally know a lot about Sandblaster, so you know, it's just me basically trying to get this thing to work, watching as many videos as I can to see if we can get this thing up and cutting that powder coat off. But as of right now, it's not cutting no powder coat. So I'd like to tell everybody thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment if you'd like. Until next time.